Oh, hey, as I was in the shower this morning, I pondered that if a mouse took a shower with me, they would be squeaky clean.
True.
At least it would be clean when they did all their mouse work. And I
that
was
was
sitting.
bad.
I know. I was sitting here the other day, and someone called my phone, sneezed, coughed, and hung up. I'm really getting tired of these cold calls.
Hate those.
Okay, I like that one. That one was good.
And our cat was chewing on an extension cord, so I had to ground him. He's doing better currently and conducting himself properly.
That's important.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to resist the urge to laugh at that.
Okay, and I used to own a robot, but our relationship faltered because we just couldn't connect. But enough of the silliness. Let's get to the show. Well, greetings and Moobarkfluff to all the creatures in the Potiverse. I am Barely, and this, of course, is Barely Furcasting, featuring Taebyn, that show that asks the question. And I was going to say, is there an anal option? But that's not a good one to put in here. How much is that puppy in the window?
2 bits.
2 bits. No. It's like Rayne, TickTock, and Cheetaro are all here. Once again, we're without our beloved pup Taebyn. So this episode is Barely Furcasting featuring Taebyn's friends, or BFFTF. So
BFFTF, yeah.
BFFTF. All right. So I have nothing for the past today because I can't remember from week to week what we've talked about, what we need to talk about again. Does anybody have anything remembering about that?
I have nothing from the past today either.
Okay.
I can tell you that the comment about when we talked about our rods and cones in our eyes brought up a very interesting conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was going somewhere else.
So.
I thought we were doing an After Dark episode for a second.
No. The rods and cones thing, it brought up an interesting concept because I was talking to the people at the zoo and where I volunteer, and I was telling them about how purple isn't a color, and they're like, wait, what? I see purple right here, and they're trying to show me the purple color, and it was very interesting.
I don't see it. It's not a color.
Yeah.
It's not there. No.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about when they said they blinded with science.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now we can't see purple.
No. So without Taebyn, that means we have a lot of airtime to fill, and it also means that my editing time will be much shorter. So I thought, call a spade a spade. It's a spade. There you go.
We love you, Taebyn.
Don't call it a shovel. Call it a spade.
But
yeah.
I love you, Taebyn.
We love you, Taebyn.
Yes.
The show's not the same without you. So I found a book that's called Pop Songs as Sonnets, and these authors took pop songs and turned them into as if they were written by Shakespeare. So you'll probably recognize the first one right off the bat. It says, "Oh, Jenny sweet, I'll turn to only thee. For me thy fond caresses the salve prescribed. I'm not like other lads who looked to see thy name upon the whitewashed boards inscribed. Yea, there was further writing on the wall, a message that such wondrous prospect showed, those oracles' words for a good time call. And 7 figures, like some type of code. I'm gladdened by thy smile and numbers strange, although that hast my visage never seen. Do not thy mathematical cipher change, and I will make thee evermore my queen. I know the sequence that shall make thee mine. 'Tis 8675309.
That is Jenny, of course.
Ooh.
That is, of course, Jenny by Tommy Two Tones. Yes,
exactly.
Indeed. So
that song got me through a test in tech school. Got me through my test in tech school because a frequency that we had to remember was very similar to 8675, but it was 349.
Oh,
so I only had to remember one number.
349. Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
It worked.
I remember when that number came out, there was this big gigantic article about how this person who owned that phone number in various area codes was so pissed off.
Yes.
Right, yes.
Because people were calling it all the time.
Hey, is Jenny there?
Hey, I'm looking for a good time. And then TikTok, you went ahead, you saw this in the show notes, and so you went ahead and did something else. So what did you come up with here?
So I thought Barely had basically done AI and, used one of them and put in a pop song. So I did the same thing. And the first thing that I did was through ChatGPT. and I did. At first I tried Led Zeppelin's "Stairway to Heaven," and the result was pretty much the lyrics of the song.
Right. It's already pretty kind of Shakespearean, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Um,
don't tell us what song this is, but go ahead and read us the thing, and we'll try and figure it out.
yes. So I put in another one, and I thought this came out pretty cool. So, through deserts vast, beneath a blazing sun, I wander far where ancient spirits lie. The mountains call, their majesty begun, in tempest song that echoes through the sky. A traveler's heart, unbound by time or place, doth yearn for lands where mystic shadows play. Each step I take unveils a fleeting trace of wonders veiled in twilight's soft decay. O eastern winds, thy whispers guide me on to realms unknown, where dreams eternal bloom. The path I tread, through endless and forlorn, doth lead me closer to my destined loom. In Kashmir's soul, the universe doth weave a tale of life that mortal hearts conceive.
Uh,
That sounds very familiar, but my brain wants to
Mm.
say it's like a desert with a horse with no
That's
name
what
or
I was
something like
thinking
that.
at first too.
But I know that's not what
It's
it
not it.
is.
No, no.
no,
It's like on the tip of my tongue. I'm almost.
that's Toto, isn't it? Africa?
No.
No. Oh,
Look
I
at the
thought that was
last line.
Africa. In Casimir's soul, the universe doth weave a tale of life that mortals' hearts. I have no idea. I
You
was
can
convinced it was Toto.
you can either play air drums or air guitar, or the entire band if you're really inspired. Da 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 da. Kashmir,
Mm,
Oh,
Oh,
Led
oh,
Zeppelin.
oh. Okay.
okay.
wow. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So then here's one that the book had. And oh, sweet and noble lad, be not aggrieved. Pray, lift thyself from off the cursed ground. Thy travels long have left thee most deceived, for there's a sanctuary to be found. They've pleasant lodgings for free for thee at a cost, amenable to one of little wealth, and pastimes there too many to exhaust, to cleanse thy soul and fortify thy health. Let not thy pride dissuade thee from their aid, or think I speak of what I do not know. For in my troubled youth 'twas there I stayed to lift myself from poverty and woe. We've cause to thank them over and over again, this brotherhood for good young Christian men.
It's not the YMCA, is it?
It is.
Oh my God.
At first, I thought it might be Hotel California, but then, yeah, like,
Yeah.
no, those don't
It's
match.
that it was that the free thing that it said in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a whole book of those, and they're pretty cool.
Hmm,
Oh
Um,
my.
neat.
all right, well, that takes us up to media. Everybody together, media.
Media.
There we go. All right, work.
Fluff. Oh.
I'm still in the RuPaul world.
Of course
We
you are.
are.
You're going to be there forever. She
I
keeps making new stuff.
not only that, but she has her own streaming app now,
Oh yeah.
and so some of the things we couldn't find on the other streaming apps are on there, like
Ah.
UK versus the World and UK or Drag Race Canada. So we're gonna go through them all eventually. So I've watched a few movies, as I mentioned earlier.
Nice.
I watched Bigger, Longer, and Uncut by South Park.
Fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie. I was feeling kind of down, and Finnick said this would be a good movie to watch, and it made
Oh
me
yeah.
laugh. I've watched Captain America: Brave New World. It's
Mm,
pretty good.
cool.
Some storylines were taken from other Marvel properties. In fact, the main storyline was taken from a Marvel property that did poorly, so poorly at the box office.
Would that be the Captain Marvel movies?
No, that would be the Eternals.
Oh, yeah, the only one that did worse than Captain Marvel, which I
Yes.
loved the Captain Marvel movies.
I did too. Yeah.
And I can't understand other than fragile male, egos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women can't be superheroes.
But I had to. Yeah. I had to actually Google why they were taking place on this specific area, and I was like, "Where did this come from? This is clearly
Right?
in the Marvel universe, but why is it here?"
Yeah.
And then when I saw that
I
it was
liked
from
the
the,
Eternals too. It was decent.
I don't
It
remember
was
the
weird, but
Eternals.
decent.
I know I watched it because it had Rababa in it from Game
Yeah.
of Thrones, and I kind of watch everything that Rababa is in now. So,
Rababa, yes.
so
Yeah.
if you want to
Check
know why
out
it's His
Royal
Royal
Highness
Highness, if you
if
want
you
to know
want
about
to get that.
Rababa,
Yeah,
yeah,
Rababa.
or Adidem.
Early, I think first season, right?
First season, very
Yes.
first season, yes.
Yeah.
I watched The Gorge, an Apple original.
Oh, okay. How was that?
It's okay. It's not great. It's entertaining, but it's long. It's like
Mm,
2 hours and 45 minutes, and they do a lot of time world building,
mm.
which could have been summarized by scrolling text,
Yeah,
you
if
know.
you're in a good mood for that, it's okay. But like, yeah,
And
some movies I'm like, I just summarize it for me at the beginning, like Star Wars.
right, give me
Well,
that
typical
rolling
battles far away,
text.
blah 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 blah
Yep,
blah. You're
it's
caught up,
I'm caught up. I know what's happening. It took
right?
me 3 minutes. Yeah.
Right?
But I know why movies are going longer now. It's because they're so expensive to go to.
Yeah,
People want a
they
value.
want value. Yeah.
They don't want to go watch a 75-minute movie and pay $20 for it. They want to
Well, at least it's not
watch,
the black hole where
True.
you have the entire black hole overture. When you went to go see that at the theater, the entire black hole overture plays at the beginning of the movie, and the screen is black the entire time.
Oh,
Go
okay.
to Disney Plus and watch the black hole. If you
Okay.
never saw it in the theaters, that's the way
That's an
they're presenting it.
old movie. That is
Yes,
from
they're
like
presenting it
Yes.
the
yeah.
exact same way they presented it in the theater. So I was like, I forgot because I watched that a while back, and I forgot that yeah, you had to go through the whole overture
Hmm.
before it finally
Huh.
brings up anything on the screen. It's
I'll be
just
darned.
black. They were trying to like set a mood, and I think they overdid it a bit.
Probably.
I
Well,
don't remember
that
that.
was their very first foray into
Into
PG
into PG
Huh.
and also into like space,
sci-fi. Yeah.
sci-fi movies. Well, not technically because they did all the animation for Forbidden Planet.
True. Yeah.
So that was their first real foray into sci-fi, but it was as a subcontractor.
Ah, all right. I watched all the Sonic movies. That was
Ooh,
fun. Those are fun
yeah.
little movies, and the Knuckle series
hmm
on
We
whatever
watched some of
channel
the
it's on.
Knuckles series during Get Out the Float.
Hmm. And then, for some reason, we watched all the Twilight movies.
Oh my.
Um,
I'm sorry.
Have you not seen them before?
I had never seen them before,
No.
and
So
Vampires shouldn't
are you
sparkle.
team vampire or team werewolf?
I'm Team Baby. That's both.
Mm,
So that's the end of the last movie. I'm assuming
right.
that it's both, but and then anime, and of course South Park at sleepy time. Rain, how about
Nice.
you?
Well, Ziggy and I had movie night the other night, so we found an app called Teleparty.
Oh,
Teleparty. Okay.
Yeah, so
I've
it
heard of
lets
that.
you as long as both parties have the streaming service, you start a teleparty on one person's computer, send them a link from the teleparty add-on in Chrome,
Hmm.
and it will actually sync both of your accounts
Really?
up so that the movie plays at the same time exactly, and or any of the participants, because you can do up to 1,000
Wow.
on the free account. Any of the participants can pause the movie, and if you leave it open, they can
Huh.
pause the movie. So if everybody needs to take a break, you hit pause, and everybody go takes a break, comes back. So it's
But
really
you
a
have,
cool way to watch a movie with somebody who's not, physically with you.
yeah,
But we went and
but you have
we
to
went.
watch it on your computer.
You can do it on some TVs. If your TV is like an Android, one of the Android TVs,
Uh-huh.
you can do it on there because it's just a link you receive over the thing, and then you just pop it up. So
Okay.
Uh,
Very
so
cool.
yeah, mainly you have to kind of use it on the computer, but it does work on some TVs.
Okay.
And then so anyways, we did the movie night, and we watched the new Netflix movie, The Electric State,
Is it any good?
and I liked it. I really did. I'm not a Chris Pratt fan,
Hmm.
but he was good in it. He was like uh he was kind of brought back the Star Lord from the first Guardians of the Galaxy,
Hmm.
the fun one who isn't like just a total asshole and angsty and willing to tear the universe apart because he'd lost his girlfriend type person.
Ah.
So he's back to
Okay.
the fun kind of version of his character.
Hmm.
And it was, like I said, it was pretty good. Critics have really panned it. They hated it.
Huh.
But all the fans are all the regular people that have watched it are pretty much fans. It's gotten such a high Rotten Tomatoes rating from fans that they're like, something's weird here, because critics gave it like a really low score and fans have given it like a really super high score. So
Hmm.
it's one of those weird ones that the critics thought it was terrible. Fans think it's okay. Like I said, it's no masterpiece of cinema by
Okay.
any means,
All
but
right.
it's a fun like couple hours romp through through an alternate version of the 90s where robots were invented by Walt Disney in the 1950s,
Okay.
and became artificially intelligent and aware, and then started a war with the humans because they wanted equal rights. And then
Oh.
so they were walled off in the desert, which is the electric state.
Mm.
So they were walled off there, and humans weren't allowed to go in there, and robots weren't allowed to come out of there.
Okay.
So it's pretty neat. It takes a lot from a lot of other kind of movies like Ready Player One and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But it's a good movie. It's fun to watch. There's some really good movies or really good moments. There's some really touching moments, and there's a lot of good comedy in it. So I
Nice.
liked it, and it had
Nice.
what's her face, Millie Bobby Brown in it,
Oh. Okay.
also. So yeah, it's really really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Sweet.
So I recommend it to anybody who wants to go watch. It's like #1 on Netflix still right now.
Oh wow. Well,
Yep.
I'll have
It's
to give
in
it a
my
watch.
Netflix queue right now.
Yeah,
Ah.
you'd like it, Chitaro. I think you'd really like it.
Nice. TikTok. How about you?
Let's see. So, usual Jeopardy, some usual Drag Race, and little comment on Drag Race. Many hugs to Lydia. You're adorbs and awesome, and hope to see you again. But small spoiler there,
I
but
don't know if she
she was,
listens to. I don't know if she listens to BFFT.
well, maybe she should now.
Should, yeah.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's one of the contestants.
Yes, yes. Yeah, no, she
Okay.
was very, very sweet, and actually did manage to rack up a win before her departure. So,
Hmm.
Oh,
congrats to
well, good
that.
for her.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. All right. Chitaro, how about you?
Well, as always, I've been watching some very interesting things. There was a series that we were watching called Kaipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts.
Ooh,
Okay.
that
It's
sounds neat.
actually a pretty awesome series. It's like 3 seasons, and it's about this girl who has been genetically altered to turn into a. And of course, you're going to say I'm biased, but she turns into a
Mm.
gigantic jaguar.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep.
And so she's kind of cool in that regard, but there's various adventures they go through, and she basically there was a big gigantic what do you call it, earth-shattering event that everybody had to go underground and they come back up. It's a really good series.
Cool.
um, I also watched a movie called Bigfoot Family, which is actually
Do you mean Harry and the Hendersons?
no, no, it's actually an
Oh, okay.
animated thing. And I found out after watching it, it was actually a second movie because there was one that was done before that called The Son of Bigfoot,
Oh.
where this kid finds out that he is the son of Bigfoot and he has to go and find his dad. Well, in this second one, his dad ends up getting taken because he's lured into uh, let's just say a green aspect of trying to save the world aspect, and he has to go find him, and fun
Hmm.
stuff happens and stuff. But that was kind of a fun movie. We watched this short series called Parasite the Gray. It's a Korean movie, so
Hmm.
it's dubbed in English, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about a whole mess of people that end up getting infected by the stuff that falls to Earth, and
Oh.
when they get turned into this parasite, so to speak, they turn into these things that like whip around and they do all
Oh,
sorts of
this is
things. They
based
turn
on the
like,
video game.
yeah, so to speak.
Yes, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
recognize the basic form that you were like saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
well,
video game
it's
was
kind
good.
of it's like 6 episodes, and it's worthy of the 5.5 hours of watching it, so to speak, because
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
it's got a lot of interesting twists and turns and things of that nature, so to speak. But
Very
and then of
cool.
course this one anime that we're watching, I know Barely said last time that he was starting to watch some anime,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I'm going to recommend this one to you, Barely. It's
Okay.
called Solo Leveling.
Okay.
It's basically about this guy, or this. well, it happens in Japan, but it actually happens all over the world where these gates come up and people end up turning into it almost is like anime version of D&D, but in real life, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And these people end up having to go and fight in dungeons and things like that. Well, this one kid, because they get sorted into ranks of S class, A, B, C, D, and E. And
Mm-hmm.
he was an E class and he thought, oh, I'm going to be a nothing for the rest of my life. Well, then something major happens and he ends up being able to get into this game where he can level himself up. And now he's like this powerful creature and does all sorts of stuff. And we just watched an episode just not that long ago about how he can summon the dead and make them fight for him and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's really
Okay.
an awesome series. And so if you have Crunchyroll and you're watching anime, watch Solo Leveling. It's really an awesome program.
Okay, I do
But
have
other-
Crunchyroll,
other- yeah.
and I shall.
So other than that, the normal video gaming, and I just finished the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Easy
Why
for
is
you
that?
to say.
Yeah, why is that so hard to say? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game for Call of Duty Zombies. That was kind of fun.
Cool.
That's
Okay.
a collision of worlds.
No
It
kidding.
is, right?
It is really-
Yeah,
It
that's
is,
uh,
absolutely. But
that's
you
all
know,
coming
hey,
together. Yeah,
it's always fun to shoot zombies. What can I say?
absolutely.
You know, who doesn't love the turtles?
All right,
I know, right? Especially Splinter. He's the cutest, of course.
Yeah.
he's a rat.
Yeah.
I know.
But he was in the ooze too, so he's just like the
Yeah.
turtles, except
Yeah.
small and old.
Yeah.
Small, old,
Small
and a
and
rat.
old.
Yes,
And a rat.
Yes. But he's a cute rat.
that's
Yeah.
true. All right, well, that takes us up to our intrepid news reporter, TickTock. What's going on in the world of furry news?
Texas. I always hate to give this airtime,
Mm.
but we have
That's
yet.
why I left Texas.
Yes, for good
I'm
reasons.
sure this is why I left Texas.
Yes,
Yes.
so we have yet another bill, and this one is titled the Furries Act, forbidding
God.
unlawful representation of role playing in educational spaces. Eye roll. Yes, so we're prohibiting wearing tails, leashes, collars, ears, meowing, or making other animal sounds, or using litter boxes.
They don't. Okay.
It's just basically, just mocking transgender people that want to use the
Jesus.
bathroom that they need to use.
Right.
More attempts to defund public education. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, come on. Talk about wasting public funding, as
Mhm.
far as this
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. Well, the worst part that I remember hearing about that was the fines that the school has
Yes.
to endure.
Exactly. Leveling large fines and basically making it impossible to run a public school effectively. So, yeah, no,
Wow.
only the wealthy can have schooling, the poor doesn't get any. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
save the
goodness.
pieces. We can build a new one.
Okay, yes, it's all broken now.
Mazel tov.
Hoppa.
Let's break another.
Yeah. But in other news, and this is going to be announced by Barely in his events list. So if you recall, there's the Garden State FurCon has been very friendly to Nazi raiders and so forth. I
Mhm.
reported on a little while back. Well, there's been a bit of a reaction to this, and now we have Forget About It, which is a new FurCon which runs at the same time as Garden State FurCon.
Oh wow.
Yes, it's an alternative con to go to in New Jersey and will be in I wanted to say New Haven, but that's in Connecticut, isn't it?
Yeah, New Haven's Connecticut.
What am I thinking? Mount
It's in
Laurel.
Mount Laurel. Yeah,
Mount
we'll
Laurel.
go
What
over
am I
it
thinking?
under upcoming
Yeah,
events.
we'll go over it. I don't know why did I have New Haven? Anyway, Anyway, so it's an alternative convention for furries to go to in New Jersey, and it's been getting some good press. So it looks like it has some good people running it. So I would recommend it.
All right.
Nice.
And that's
Very
the news
cool.
for this week.
Now we haven't gone over oddities for a while, so I saw a couple in my inbox, and while not exactly furry related, this particular one just caught me as funny. It says crowds cheer as runners with frying pans race to mark annual Pancake
Oh, I
Day.
love Pancake Day. James told me about this.
So, racers dressed as a skyscraper, a beekeeper, and a chest of drawers were among dozens of runners in zany costumes, zipping around a central London square with a frying pan in hand to celebrate Shrove Tuesday or Pancake Day. Hundreds of people packed into Gouliard Hall Yard, cheering as participants in the annual Interlivery Pancake Race. And I had to look up what interlivery was, and a livery are the various trade guilds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
And that's Guildhall Yard.
yes,
interesting.
yeah. Pancake Race ran around the square while tossing pancakes in their frying pans. The spectacle was one of many such pancake races across the UK to mark the day before the start of Lent, the 40-day period before Easter that Christians mark with prayers, fasting, and repentance. I gave up watermelon for Lent, by the way. Celebrated as Mark.
I gave up Catholicism for Lent.
I gave up Catholicism for Lent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could I say I gave up Lent for Lent?
Yes, there you
Yes.
go. I tried that when I was in Catholic school. The nuns told me I couldn't. It's celebrated at Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday in other parts of the world. The name Shrove Tuesday derives from the English word meaning to seek forgiveness or be granted absolution. These days, most people mark Shrove Tuesday by cooking pancakes in a nod to the custom of using up eggs and butter before the period of abstinence begins. The interlivery race features teams donning fancy dress or traditional garb that represent their livery companies, or historic guilds or trade associations that have existed in London for almost 1,000 years. And believe it or not, the winners receive a trophy and a brand new frying pan.
That's
Well,
important.
So
That is important.
yes,
Bonk
yes.
people with it or something.
Hopefully, it's a frying pan that is able to cook pancakes in.
Yes,
I would
it's
assume it is.
probably
But
one of
yeah,
those non-stick
James had
copper
told me
ones.
about this, and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, they have like pancake races and all kinds of stuff." I was like, "Yeah, sign me up! I love pancakes."
I'm surprised I haven't partnered it up with a pancake tossing contest where you try to throw a pancake as far away as you can, like a
Yeah.
frisbee.
Well, they do that with tortillas. There's
Yeah.
like at some sporting events they'll have like a tortilla day where people throw tortillas out and stuff. So
Nice.
Well, they do have contests of flipping pancakes.
Mhm.
See how many times you can flip a pancake.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
COVID, for all the weird
yeah,
things.
I know,
exactly.
right? Oh,
So I
Lord.
think that brings us up to our movie review. Chitaro, do you have a movie review?
I do have a movie review, and
Yay!
this one is kind of an interesting one because when you look at the name of the movie, you're gonna think of lots of different images. But this is on Netflix, and it's from 2021, and it's called this is on Netflix, and it's from 2021, and it's called SEAL Team. Let that
This
sit
could be
for a
good.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So SEAL Team is a movie about drum
Seals.
roll, please.
Seals.
Seals. Exactly.
Yay.
Exactly. So so the fun part is that these group of seals are trying to figure out how to protect themselves from the sharks.
As you do.
Yeah.
As well you
Yeah.
should, yes.
And so they find that they need to try to fight these sharks. And so the main shark, who is voiced by someone named Jesse T. Usher, and no, it's not Usher, the music person, but if you've ever watched the series The Boys, he was A-Train on The
Oh, okay.
Boys.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he's the voice of the main seal, and he goes and he finds and searches out for this guy who is literally in the Navy, helping the Navy defuse bombs and things of that nature. And this older SEAL who is voiced by J.K. Simmons, which if you're a Spider-Man fan, he played J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh
game,
yeah,
the Batman
yeah,
series. Yeah.
yeah.
And so, so needless to say, there is lots of fun things that happen. There is lots of silly seal jokes and jokes of all kinds. You know, this would be a great thing to watch as a group, so to speak. There's lots of slapstick. There's actually even a whole entire scene or various scenes where they're talking about various sharks and coming together for a big gigantic meeting. And so there's a little snippet of Bruce from Jaws, you know,
Okay, yeah.
trying to eat somebody off of a boat. There's a scene of this guy in a tuxedo hanging upside down with a shark with a laser beam that's kind of James Bond-esque. And of course, the famous Happy Days, if everybody remembers Happy Days, when Fonzie
Jump the shark.
decided that he needed to jump the shark,
Yeah.
that scene was in this movie. I mean, in animated form, of course.
Right.
But it's so funny because there's all sorts of things that are going along in that regards. And this movie is kind of awesome. It has the want of when you're watching it,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like it's stop animation, you know, like claymation of
Yeah,
sorts,
yeah.
but it's not claymation because it was actually computer generated or computer drawn or however you say that specifically.
CGI,
But but it looks like it could be stop frame animation in some parts of it. But it's rather interesting. As a matter of fact, there's one seal that actually does a lot of singing, and you'll be hard pressed to guess who that voice was, but it was Seal.
Okay.
They got
Yeah.
very meta with this.
Mm-hmm.
They did a lot of interesting things in regards to that, and so I mean there's actually even a product where the seals are trying to focus on getting food, and there's this one product that's called sardines, and it's spelled TSARDINES.
Nice.
I like it.
So it's kind of a fun little thing, you know. I mean, yeah, it's almost all underwater, but you know, you can't really tell the underwater scenes from the on top of the water scenes. But there's also the guy that plays oh God, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. The guy that voices Joe Swanson in Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Warburton.
Yes.
Warburton.
Yeah, he was also the best Tick. I
Yeah,
think he was the best Tick.
absolutely. Well, he is also a voice in this movie as well, and
Nice.
his character is so awesome. There's a whole entire scene where they're trying to escape from this after they stole this boat. The seals steal a boat. Yeah, go figure. And they're being chased by sharks, and they crash on these rocks, and they're all trying to get away from these sharks, and they come up with a way to make fake figures of themselves on little sticks, and they're trying to make a show, and Patrick Warburton and somebody was voicing and doing all sorts of stuff, and the sharks are sitting there going, "Oh wow, this is so fun! Oh look, I'm to this person," and you know they were starting to like blend with the seals, and it was like really funny. But you know, but overall, I would give this in terms of you know the aspect of the movie. I would say it's more along the lines of a four chirper.
Nice.
Okay.
Because it keeps your attention, it makes you laugh. There's a part at the very end where you think that somebody ends up dying, but we'll just say but.
Okay.
Just their butt dies.
Yeah, something like that.
It's happened to me. You sit too long in one place, and you get
Right.
up, it's all it's dead.
But it was really a fun movie, and I recommend going and seeing it. Well, not going because you don't have to go anywhere because you can look at it on Netflix because it's on Netflix right now.
Oh,
So there's a movie that you guys can watch. Rayne, you and Ziggy can watch together.
Yeah.
You know, because it would be kind of fun to do, and so yeah, SEAL team.
excellent. Thank you.
Hey, not a problem. Until next time.
All right. Well, that brings us up to our upcoming events.
Upcoming events.
We love you, Taebyn. So the first event is Furry Down Under 2025, April 4th through the 6th in Surfers Paradise, Queensland, Australia. The next weekend, the 10th through the 13th of April, is Furcation Land in Portland, Maine. That same weekend in Dallas, Texas, is Texas Furry Fiesta. Then we have April 11th through the 13th, they start a day later, is Woods Flock in Pikeville, Tennessee. Then we have the Las Vegas Fur Con 2025 taking place April 17th through the 20th at the Alexis Park Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. Anthro Ohio is taking place April 18th through the 20th in Columbus, Ohio. That same weekend, the 18th through the 22nd, they're going a couple days longer, is Fantastique 2025 in Bron, France. 25th through the 28th of April is Furry Weekend Holland in Baarlo, Netherlands. 2 A's again. IberCon 2025. I don't know what Iber is, but that's May 1st.
The Iberian Peninsula.
What's in Spain?
That's in Spain.
Yeah, it's about the Iberian Peninsula.
Oh, is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. It's taking place in Madrid, Spain, May 1st through the 4th. The 2nd through the 4th is the Forget About It 2025, taking place in Mount Laurel Township, New Jersey, at the Doubletree Suites. The Golden State FurCon, taking place the same weekend, which is the more controversial of the two, is taking place in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I know where New Brunswick is. That was not too far from where I grew up until I was 14. And yeah.
Is it near Old Brunswick?
No, Old Brunswick is in across the pond.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember the East Coast towns that were
all named by British.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
I mean,
knew
you have-
this and knew that and knew this and new.
Yeah, I mean, you have York in England, and so they made New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that wasn't the original name of the
No,
town.
it was
Yeah,
in the song. Well, New York was once
New Amsterdam.
Yeah, New Amsterdam. Yep.
Yeah.
But it didn't fit it didn't fit the lyrics. New York, New York, it's a heck of a town. New Amsterdam, New Amsterdam. It just didn't work.
No,
So they
nothing
had to
rhymes with
change it.
Amsterdam.
Definitely a different feel.
Yes. Yeah. At least we don't have New Rotterdam. Anyway, May 2nd through the 4th in Ontario, Wisconsin, is a con called It's Rough Out.
That's cute. I like that name.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then May 8th through the 11th in Atlanta, Georgia, is the Furry Weekend Atlanta. And in Metz, France, the weekend of May 8th through the 11th is Les Furfurieux, I guess is how you pronounce that.
Good enough.
I know.
Furfuru.
Les Furfurieux. Furfurieux. If anybody goes to that, let us know what actual presentation and pronunciation is.
Yes, and what it means.
And what it means.
Right?
Yes.
Furious Fur.
Furious Fur. Yeah.
The Angry Furs.
Yep.
Angry Fur. Fur Pile 2025 is taking place May 9th through the 11th in...
It's also happening in every one of the cons.
Every one of the cons, there will be a Fur Pile, yes. That's May 9th through the 11th in Lodz, Poland. I did it again. Poland and Portland. Mix it up every friggin' time.
They're very different places.
Yes, very different. Keep Poland weird. Cal Furry 2025 is taking place in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, May 16th through the 18th. Furlandia, taking place, our local con, May 23rd through the 25th in Portland, Oregon. Confuzzled is taking place in Birmingham, UK, that same weekend, the 23rd through the 27th. They're going a couple days longer. And Galactic Camp 2025 is taking place May 24th through the 26th aboard the USS Hornet, Sea Air and Space Museum in Alameda, California. They are sold out. They were sold out because it's got a limited space. And,
right, yeah.
So that would be, they closed down the entire ship
Museum,
for the Furry Con. So
Yeah.
that's really kind of cool. Really
That would
kinda
be
cool.
fun. They should do a similar con in New York aboard the one that they've got there.
They could.
Yeah. I always forget the name of it. I'm just blanking right now.
It's one of them.
Yeah, but it's that's a big ship.
All right. Well, that takes us up to some jokes. Have we all got jokes ready to
I've
go?
got a yolks or two.
Yolks.
Yoke or two?
Utes.
Yoke or
Yolk or
two?
two.
You know, I ate a pillow in my sleep, and now I feel a little down in the mouth.
That'll happen.
That usually happens, yeah. Yeah. So what's 3-7 chicken 2/3 cat and half goat.
Dinner?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Stew.
Chicago.
Oh.
I get it, yes.
Oh.
The other day I tried to buy a zombie.
Yeah?
Yeah, apparently I don't know what a body shop is.
Oh. Whoops. Hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
So a
That
magician.
body shop, I figured.
A magician worked on a cruise ship in the Caribbean. The audience would be different every week, so the magician did the same tricks every week. But there was a problem. The captain's parrot saw the shows and began to understand how the magician did the tricks. Once he understood, he started shouting out the secrets in the middle of the show. Look, it's not the same hat. Look, he's hiding the flowers on the table. Hey, why are all the cards the ace of spades? And magician was furious, but he couldn't do anything because it's the captain's parrot. But one day the ship had an accident and it sunk. And magician and the parrot were stranded on a piece of wood floating in the middle of the ocean, and they just floated and stared at each other, just furious at each other. And then after a few days, the parrot finally said, "All right, I give up. Where the heck is the boat?"
No.
Hey, do you know why the dinosaur would not cross the road?
I don't know.
Because there were
He
no
was afraid of
roads
getting-
when there were dinosaurs.
Right.
Oh.
That would be a good reason why. Very good reason.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the vampire who got a pet dog? He'd always wanted a bloodhound.
Oh.
So I watched a movie the other day where the characters had to defeat an evil clown, and the only way they could do it was by turning him off and on again. It was called IT.
Oh, God.
It could work. It could work.
Yeah.
Hickory dickory dock. 2 mice ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, and the other got away with some minor injuries.
Yes.
Nice. I like that.
Yep. I was walking around downtown Salem the other day to keep with the dinosaur theme here, and I noticed a new Jurassic-themed blouse shop opened up.
Oh, really?
It's called Triceratops Tops.
Nice.
And I went in, and they gave me a cup of T-Rex on a small dinosaur.
Well, you know what we call a dinosaur with an extensive vocabulary.
A thesaurus.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Let's see. Why do dogs run in circles?
I don't know.
Because they can't run in squares.
That's true.
Guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if you know a dog that runs in squares, let me know.
Taebyn.
Okay, that's
Just
fair.
get in a box and just run around. So that's running in the square. So if you're ever in a jungle expedition, you should always remember to boil all the water.
Why is
You
that?
should also be aware that this can slow you down if you come to a lake.
Huh? True.
Yeah.
Let's see. Why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors?
Because it's not a chicken sedan.
Exactly.
Next to that blouse shop was a shoe store,
Really?
and I went into that and I asked them if they had alligator shoes,
Mhm.
and they said they did, and asked what size feet my alligator had.
That is a good shopkeeper.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Customers always first.
Yes.
What do you get if you cross a triceratops with a kangaroo?
I don't know.
A tricerahops.
Uh,
What do you do when you see a spaceman?
I don't know.
Park your car, man.
Right. Yeah. Start typing.
Oh God. Okay.
All right.
Wah, wah.
So a hiker was walking in the woods and hiking along, and he got lost and couldn't find his way out. This went on for a couple days, and he was getting very, very hungry. And so he saw a bald eagle on a ledge and killed it and was eating it. And then suddenly, finally the rangers show up. But this is an endangered species. We're going to have to arrest you. But in the courtroom, he said, well, judge, if I hadn't, ate the eagle, I would have starved to death. And the judge says, okay, we'll let you off this time. That's understandable. But the judge says, I've never eaten a bald eagle, nor do I plan to, but what did it taste like? Was it chicken? And the man answered, well, it was like a cross between a whooping crane and a spotted owl.
Ouch.
Okay, I toyed with saying this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. So I found an ancient tampon out in the woods. I gave it to my archaeologist friend, but unfortunately he was not able to identify the period.
Oh.
Takes us up to our plugs. Off Leash, a definitely not safe for work podcast about human puppy play and consensual sexual kinks, is on our network, as is Royal Highness, a podcast where the hosts have never seen the Game of Thrones series, so they get high, watch the show, and then we talk about it while they're still high. Hilarity ensues on a regular basis.
It does. It does indeed. And that brings us up to me. I have got 3 to Who, the monthly Doctor Who podcast that I do with my buddy James and, of course, Barely. And we talk about all things Doctor Who. And that comes out every month. This time we are talking about the TARDIS, I believe, this one coming up.
Yes.
And then I have on Sundays my live stream. I'm not sure if I'll have it this Sunday again because my computer's acting up right now. But if I do, I'll put it out on the chat.
Awesome.
But that's pretty much it for me.
All right. TickTock, how about you?
Well, let's see, not to take away Cheetaro's thunder, but I'll just say Furlandia, but then he can go into more detail about that. But there's also 2 up-and-coming events in the Portland area. There's also Plush, which is basically a furry dance party rave.
Oh, wow.
And there's also the Slabtown Scamper, of which we just had the 3rd one last weekend. Both highly recommended, small events, all 21 and over. So, yeah, we can have some fun, or at least 18 and over. But yeah, you can have some fun, hang out with your friends and be fluffy.
Nice.
That's important, of course.
Yes,
Of course. Fluffy is always important. Cheetaro, how about you?
Well, as TickTock said, Furlandia, of course, but everybody should go out there and register for Furlandia 2025.
I did already. Stop pestering me.
Well, I'm going to keep pestering just because. No, I'm kidding.
Sales, man.
Sales.
I can only buy one ticket.
I will say, just as a interesting tidbit of information, that we are tracking the number of people who are buying registration for Furlandia now, and with last year, and it's literally very, very close tracking with last year, which basically means to me that we probably will hit this at least a minimum of the same number of people that we had last year at Furlandia. Yay, go us.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're also, I'm actually part of the team that's actually trying to find a new place for Furlandia. So I'm not going to mention on this podcast because it will be a secret until Furlandia 2025 happens as to where Furlandia 2026 is going to be. But I can tell you that we are looking and we are getting very close to finding a new place, a new home that will be bigger and better and more wonderful, and a little. Let's just give a little throw out there to say also closer to transportation. Let's just say that.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah. That always makes it easier to get to places if you have transportation.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Well, unless of course you're somebody who can just snap your fingers and be somewhere else.
God, I wish that was a thing.
Yeah.
God, I wish that was a thing.
Me too.
Oh, wow. We wouldn't
Me
need
too,
cars.
especially.
We wouldn't need roads. We wouldn't need hotels, because if you could snap your fingers to get somewhere, you wouldn't need hotels. You could come home to sleep.
I wouldn't have to watch movies with Ziggy on Teleparty.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be able to go have your own party down in Chile.
Yeah. Or up here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sounds like a fun thing. Why don't we have this? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Everybody's
some fur out there needs to come up with a way to have teleportation happen.
Yes, please.
The Q continuum. That's what we need.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Well, all it looks like we made it to the end of our episode. We know you have a choice in podcasts, and we love that you chose to listen to ours. Cheetaro, any final words?
Just to make sure that you laugh a lot and you create some new people by making them laugh, or not create people, but create laughter for other people and make them laugh.
That's a cute power right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Create people by making them laugh.
Yes.
You will laugh and you will like it. No, but yeah, so just make sure you laugh and pay it forward to make sure the whole world is laughing with us, because we're in trying times right now and we need to have lots of laughter to keep us sane.
Okay. All right. TickTock, what are your final thoughts?
Hey, be fluffy or be fluffier.
Okay. Rayne, how about you?
Well, as always, I want to say I love you to my wonderful fiance Ziggy down in Chile. And be kind to yourselves and each other. Moobarkfluff, stay furry.
All right. Remember, you can help support the show by subscribing on Buzzsprout or support the show through Patreon for as little as $3 a month. Every little bit helps to keep the show running. Or if you listen on YouTube, why not hit that subscribe button? So on behalf of all of us here at BFFT, BFFTF, and the fine folks at the Indie Nerd Podcast Network, we say Moobarkfluff and stay furry. And thanks for tuning in.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The Furcast is produced, recorded, and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate producer Rayne Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezer Beak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on SoundCloud.com, the YouTube Free Use Library, and Epidemic Sound. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFT chat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at coffee.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.